soon as you're here.
I want to welcome everybody to the annual meeting of the North General Hospital Board. We have a few agenda items for the day. Thank you all for coming. The first agenda item is the election of officers. It's behind tab some number at the back of the book. And if you're interested, you may certainly take a look at it. I believe the officers are almost identical for Atlantic and North General. Are there any questions about the officers, the list itself? Hearing no questions, then may I have a motion to adopt the resolution designating the authorized officers for the subsidiary? Jerry, thank you. Second? Wellington, thank you. All in favor, please indicate with aye. 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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Then I think the officers are elected unanimously. You should congratulate. The board met on the 6th of April, 2022, and produced, of course, minutes. Those minutes are in your material. Are there any questions about the proposed changes, revisions? Hearing none, may I have a motion, please, to adopt the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Beryl. I was hoping somebody up there would, but I guess not. It doesn't matter. May I have a second, please? Wellington, thank you. All in favor, please indicate with aye. Aye. We are favored. We will be favored with having Sarah lead a discussion on the mission statement and revised performance measures and metrics. Sarah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Governance Committee of NGHP Holding Corporation met yesterday, reviewed the mission statement, performance measures and metrics, and agreed that no changes are required at this time. Therefore, all this full board needs to do at this time is acknowledge that it has also reviewed the mission statement, performance measures, and metrics. There is no resolution on the part of this board that's required, just an acknowledgement of the review.
So we are agreed that the board has reviewed the material as we are required to do annually. I think the answer is yes. Assuming that everybody agrees, we will we'll go to the annual review of the bylaws, the required annual review of the bylaws.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That is, as you point out, required to take place annually. There is a change that has been proposed in connection with the NGHP bylaws, and that is consistent with the other subsidiaries. A revision to section 3.7 of the bylaws, which pertains to the ability of the board and its committees to hold meetings via video conference technology from one or more locations that are open to the public. It also specifies certain extraordinary circumstances that would enable a member to participate from a private location not open to the public. Those changes are consistent with the New York Open Meetings Law and are also consistent with DASNY's bylaws and the bylaws of the other subsidiaries. So we would need a motion, Mr. Chair, of the full board to approve that change to the subsidiary bylaws.
You see the change in 3.7 that's been recommended. Are there any questions about it? Are there any comments about it? Hearing none, may I have a motion, please, to approve it?
So moved.
Thank you, Joan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Lisa. All in favor, please indicate with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Are there any abstentions? Motion carries. The revisions are approved unanimously. President's report, tab 5 for NGHP. Craig, you're on.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, should I say good afternoon now? My presentation today will be brief and is intended to provide an overview of the annual NGHP President's Report, which is included in the board materials. I will touch on the history leading to now and events that have transpired over the last year since the April 2022 annual update. By now, I believe all are aware of the circumstances that led to NGHP receiving title to North General Hospital following its bankruptcy and ultimate closure over 10 years ago. A detailed account of the history has been presented to the board previously and is included in the accompanying written president's report. As for current events, NGHP continues to lease the main hospital building to New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation, or HHC, for use as a 210-bed long-term acute care hospital. You might further know that as the Henry J. Carter Specialty Hospital. As required, HHC made its annual lease payment to NGHP this past year, and such payment was first used to cover property insurance costs, while the balance will be forwarded to the Division of Budget to reimburse past or offset current state financial obligations associated with the old secured hospital program. HHC lease payments to NGHP will continue for so long as HHC receives Medicaid capital cost reimbursement associated with the North General building they occupy. Given what we know today, it's expected that such lease payments will then continue for the next decade. Once HHC stops receiving such Medicaid capital cost reimbursement attributable to the lease, the property shall be conveyed to HHC at that time, and the NGHP subsidiary can be dissolved. Last, I want to assure the board that the cost to hold this property related to NGHP is not creating any financial burden on either DASNY or its NGHP subsidiary. Annual lease payments from HHC cover any expenses associated with holding the property, including insurance-related expenses. That concludes my prepared remarks, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have. Thank you.
Floor is open. Anybody have questions for Craig? Craig, I think it's called H+H now, as opposed to HHC. I don't know
Yeah,
that.
I think you're right. I'll update that.
Please.
Store and a hospital.
What? What's it called? H+H.
H&H.
Oh, H.
Yeah, they made that about a year or two ago, I think, right?
Yes.
They sell bagels?
Yes, bagels and milk.
Member Romsky wants to know if they sell bagels. All right.
I remember it.
Greg, thank you for your report
Sure
on
thing.
behalf of the president. I don't think we have anything to approve. Are there any comments about NGHP? Anybody have anything to say? Then I will ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Greg. Siri.
Yeah, no, he really is all over this stuff.
These are things that could go sideways.
There's a lot going on, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Turn. Thank you, Craig.
I'll move.
Thank you, Beryl. Second. Wellington, thank you. All in favor, please indicate with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Really?
They'll be shot on sight.
Right. This meeting is adjourned. All right.
Right.
It was a good meeting.